So the first numerical is on bell crank lever. A bell crank lever is to be designed to lift the load of 10 kilonewton acting at the end of short arm. This is very important. You must be able to think where the load is applied. Here it is clearly written 10 kilonewton. How much it is? 10 kilonewton load is applied on a shorter side. Okay. So this is the shorter side of lever arm. The length of the short and long arm is 500. So this is 500 and the longer arm is having 740 millimeter. Allowable shear stress and tensile stress for the lever and pin material is 60. So both are made up of same material. So we have given the safe limit is 60 megapascal and the tensile stress, that is sigma t, which is given is 80. Now here this tensile stress is taken as sigma b. Okay. Allowable bearing pressures for the pin material is 8 Newton per millimeter square. We are going to write is PB, right? It's a bearing pressure. It's basically a compressive stress, but because the lever pivot about a fulcrum pin, so it is a dynamic condition, so we cannot use directly the compressive stress. Instead we have to use the word bearing pressures. So it is given 8 Newton per millimeter square or simply 8 megapascal. Second, the relation of the pin is given. L by D is 1.2. That means length of pin, that is length of pin is 1.2 times, 25% higher than its diameter. Okay. So this relation is given to solve the problem. So the first step is we must find the effort required. Here the load is given to us, right? But we need to find how much effort is required to operate this lever. We have to lift this load 10 kilonewton. By definition of lever, we must have a lower value of effort. Otherwise, the definition of lever has no meaning, because lever is a device to use to apply less effort and to lift the higher load, right? So here the first is find effort required to lift the load of 10 kilonewton. How can we find? Very simple, by considering the principle of movement, taking movement about fulcrum. Okay, so very simple, effort into effort arm. Effort arm is equal to load into load arm. Okay, how much it is given? Very simple. P, this is probably 740 as given. Yes, it is 740 millimeter into load is given 10 kilonewton. I am keeping it in terms of kilonewton. And this given is how much it is? 500, right? It is given as 500. So from this we can find the effort required. So P is going to be 6.75 kilonewton. So this is the effort required. Just try to focus the values. Now load we are lifting is 10 kilonewton and the effort required for that is 6.75. So here effort required is very less. Now from this movement of about fulcrum movement principle, we can say if we increase this effort arm, we'll still have a lower effort, right? But there is always a limitation of space, right? So we cannot enlarge the lever for an infinite of distance, right? So here, by considering data, we have to apply this much of effort in terms of kilonewton. Now, if you want to find out mechanical advantage, what is that? Load dictated divided by load, effort applied. Here it is 10 kilonewton and the load that effort we applied is 6.75. So the output is 1.481. So this lever that we are considering is having mechanical advantage of 1.481. That means we can have a 48% lower effort with respect to the applied load. This is the advantage. Now let's find the reaction force. The second point is finding reaction force. You do have to write in similar manner in exam. Reaction force RF on fulcrum pin. तो fulcrum pin पे जो load आ रहा है reaction force. Now this reaction force is because of what? Because lever is a single entity. Lever is a single entity. Here we are applying W, we are lifting W load, and here we are applying the effort P. So these two forces, if you consider the law of parallelogram or triangle law, this is going to give you the equivalent force. We are replacing this W and P, and we are finding a single force, which is called reaction force, right? Which is acting on this fulcrum pin. That is RF. Okay. So on fulcrum pin, reaction force that can be found out by this equation. R is equal to W square P square minus WP into cos theta. But here, for Bell crank lever, theta is 90. So what we have, this becomes the 0. So we have reaction force equation is very simple, W square plus P square. So let's put the value of load, that is 10 kilonewton, and this is 6.75. So the R is, let's find a answer. So it comes out 12.06 kilonewton. So this much load, by simply finding the reaction force, or you can say the equivalent force by replacing these two values, right? So we have one force which is going to give you a 12.06 kilonewton effective load acting on this fulcrum pin. Okay, this is also called resultant or reaction force. Now from this we are going to find the dimensions of fulcrum pin, right? Now let's say design of fulcrum pin. The first point is the how a pin is going to fail. The first failure is considering the bearing failure. Because of this reaction, chances are there this pin is going to have a compressive failure. But because the lever is swivel about fulcrum pin every time, so that is a dynamic situation. So we are going to consider its bearing failure. So bearing failure, considering bearing failure of fulcrum pin. Okay. So here the equation is R into D into L into PB. Now how this comes? Very simple. Let me draw the bearing pin. Here we have to consider this projected area, right? So on which the reaction force R is acting. RF is acting, right? So this is the area. So this area is basically D into horizontal length L, right? So this is what the area. Now here we are going to take L 1.25 times D, which is given in numericals, right? So because both the terms are unknown, so we cannot solve at a time. We have to take a relations. And rectangle means what? It's an area. So we can take a proportion of these sides. So here the proportion is taken. That is length is 25% more than the diameter, right? So here we can replace it. So R is 12.06 kilonewton. That is 10 raised to 3, replacing kilo. Then D into 1.25 D, and the bearing pressure that is given to us in numerical is 8, right? 8 megapascal. That is 8. Please watch out the units. You must have a unit common on left side and right side. Here it is Newton. Then the bearing pressure has to be taken in terms of Newton, right? You cannot take it in kilonewton. So finding this diameter D, diameter of pin, you can calculate your way, right? The answer is 34.7 millimeter. So we can take is 36. We can keep the diameter of pin is 36. So length will be 45, 25% higher as given in the relations. So this is the dimension we found out based on the load acting. How much load is acting? Reaction force 12 kilonewton, right? So for the given load, you have to keep this much dimension of a fulcrum pin, which going to give you this safe working under the bearing failure. Now same bearing failure is also subjected to shear failure, right? ऐसा हो सकता है कि because of Bosch and a connection of lever, there is a chances that the fulcrum pin is going to fail from this location as this location, right? So it is shear off from this location and this location. Both are circular areas, right? So let's try to consider it. So here 3.2, considering double shear failure, that is double shear failure of fulcrum pin. Okay, so how much it is? Same reaction force is causing the double shear failure. So pi by 4 d square into tau. Okay. So here reaction force is known to as 12.0. Let's say how much it is, 12.06, 10 is to 3, and 12 into pi by 4. Now we know the diameter of pin, that is square, 36 square. Let's find the induced stress, that is induced stress. Okay. So here we are going to find the shear stress induced, right? तो हमारे पास क्या है, डायमेंशन ऑलरेडी है that we found out from the bearing failure, but the same dimension must be proved to be safe under the work loading condition in shear failure, right? So we are going to find the shear stress in this case, and that comes out to be 18.61 megapascal, right? Now the permissible stress given, induced stress is 18.61 for the diameter of D is equal to 36. इसका क्या मतलब हुआ, हमने जो पिन का डायमेंशन फाइंड किया था which is 36 in diameter and the length is 45. This dimension is going to work safely in bearing failure as well as in shear failure. But shear failure में कितनी stress develop हो रही है, 18.61. We have to compare with the given value. Here the given value is how much it is, 60, right? So it is 60 and the induced stress is 18. So you can say the induced stress is much less than the permissible stress, which is 60. So here we can conclude that the fulcrum pin is safe in both situation, that is bearing failure and shearing failure. So this is our design. So fulcrum pin dimension is D is equal to 36 and length is equal to 45 millimeters. So this is our final dimensions. Now let's talk about the cross sections, right? So point number 4. So lever cross section. Now try to understand what does it mean. Let me draw over here so you can understand very well. So this is shorter arm, this is longer arm. Okay. Let me explain on the main figure. Now here, let's say this is fulcrum pin. Okay. This is, you can say, a point from where the lever is behave like a cantilever beam, right? तो यहाँ पे हमें क्या consider करना है? Fixed point, right? So this is the cantilever beam. You are applying effort of, let's say, 6.75 kilonewton. And the distance is given. So because of this force and its perpendicular distance, it is going to create a movement. So movement is on the right side as given, right? So because of that, the stresses will be developed at this location. Bending stress or bending movement will be maximum at this location. If you recall your knowledge of strength of material, bending moment value is like this. It is maximum at the fixed point, right? It is maximum, and gradually it reduced to the zero because the dimension is the reference dimension or the linear distance is getting zero, right? So this is what trapezoidal pattern of bending moment. And because of that, the bending stress is also higher at this location. So bending stress is equal to nothing but bending moment divided by sectional modulus Z, right? So here at this location only we have to find out what is the height of section and what is the width. We are not going to find a rectangle section at this location, right? Because here the bending moment is very low. As a design engineer, we must concentrate on maximum value of stress. So here in the case of lever, the maximum stress is only happened over here because the bending moment is maximum at the fixed location, or you can say where the lever is pivoted by fulcrum pin, right? So here we are going to find it. So the section that we are going to find is at this location. Mostly rectangle section is preferred, like a column and beam, right? So here the cross section is like this. This is height and this is width, okay? So you can keep I section as well. But it's depend how much load is acting and how much bending is occurring, right? But generally for the sake of understanding, let's go for the rectangle section. So lever section can be found out by bending stress into bending moment divided by sectional modulus Z. हमें कहाँ से dimension मिलेगा? यहाँ से मिलेगा. So Z is simply the division of moment of inertia divided by Y. Y is nothing but the extreme distance of extreme fiber or where the maximum bending stress is occurring. That is, let's recall the bending formula or bending concept, right? If you bending like this, so this inner portion is subjected to compressive stress and the outer fiber is subjected to tensile stress. And from the neutral axis, we want to find out the location. So depth is H and the half is Y. So Y means H by 2. So we are going to find extreme fiber where the maximum stress is occurring. Just also recall the pattern of the stresses On other side it is compressive, on other side it is tensile. Both having same value but opposite nature because of bending. Okay, so here we are interested to find what is G value, that is 1 by 12 BH cube. Just recall your knowledge of moment of inertia from strength of material. Here we are going to replace Y is equal to H by 2. It's a location of extreme fiber from the neutral axis, right? So we cancel out this 1H and then the total is 1 by 6 BH square. Okay. Now let's say what is bending moment. Now bending moment can be found out by simply effort into effort arm, or simply load into load arm. Both are going to give the same value. So here let's find the load is given is 10 kilonewton. Okay, it is 10 kilonewton and its distance is how much it is given? Yes, it is 500. Okay, so it is 500. So the moment will be 5000 kilonewton into millimeter. Why? Because load is in kilonewton and the distance in millimeter. So the unit of the moment is 5000 kilonewton into millimeter. Okay. Now let's say use this equation. Bending stress is equal to bending moment divided section modulus C, right? So it is 5000 into 10 raised to 3. We are replacing this K divided by 1 by 6 BH square. Here you know that the bending stress is given is 80, right? It is given. That is given in the numerical. Okay, that is 80. Where is that? This is the value. Okay, because of bending, the stress produced is in terms of either compressive nature or tensile nature. Here it is given the tensile nature. It is given in tensile nature. So we have to consider equivalent to the bending stress. वो same ही है. So the permissible value is given. You're not allowed to increase, go beyond this value, right? So one variable is known to us. The bending moment is we found out, but we don't know what is B and H value. Actually, it is a dimension that we are interested to find. So here, together they are unknown. So we cannot solve this equation. So we have to take a relationship. So because of the section is rectangle, we can take a relation between the sides of a rectangle. So this is H and this is B. Here what is given to us? It is not given. So we can take arbitrarily. So we are going to take H is equal to here. We can assume that height is 3 times B, right? So we assume this. So this will help us to solve these equations, right? So let's put it 80, 5000 into raised to 3, 1 by 6. Here it is B and H, we are going to have a 9 B square, right? So from this, we can find B value. Now only we have what is B variable. So that comes out to be 34.66 millimeter. So we are going to take it 36. Okay. Finally, we are going to take it 36. So H will be, based on that, H will be 108. So this is the cross section that we have to keep for the lever for the applied load of 10 kilonewton at the shorter arm and the effort of 6.75 kilonewton at the longer arm. So we have to keep this value, otherwise it is going to bend or fail, or you can say the stress induced will be more than 80 and that is a failure situation, right? So this is how we can solve the design of lever. Finally, we can find the dimension of boss. Okay, so here it is lever is let me show you on the slides. Right, so this is the boss, right? So this is boss in which the fulcrum pin is fixed. So that dimension is taken 2 times of fulcrum pin, right? So here it is, how much fulcrum pin dimension is 36. Okay, so we can say the boss diameter capital D is taken as 2 times of pin. So 2 into 34, whatever we have taken, let's say how much it is, 36. Okay, so here it is 36. So the boss diameter will be 72 millimeter. Okay, so this is what the design of lever. Now let's solve one more example, rocker arm. Okay, now basically rocker arm is like this as shown in the previous figure. Right, this is what the example of rocker arm. Okay, where the angle is other than the 90. It is basically used in IC engine. Let me show you in figure. So this is the example of rocker arm. This is tappet end. Tapered end means we are going to fix a valve over here which operate in engine cylinder. Okay, and from here we are going to provide the push from the cam. I hope you have studied in theory of machine. Cam is going to rotate it and push it. So it is swivel like this. It is going to swivel like this. So that will operate the valve. It open up, close up, open up, close up, right? So this is an example of rocker arm. So design a rocker arm having included angle of between two arms is theta is equal to 140. तो कितना दिया हुआ है? It is given as 140. So simply draw a figure like this to understand it, right? So this angle is 140 between two arms. Okay. Now maximum load of 4 kilonewton is acting. Load of 4 kilonewton is acting at the valve end or tappet end. So this is the tappet end, let's say. So here W is 4 kilonewton. Okay. And the length of the tappet end and cam end is 150. So ये दिया है 150 and ये जो दिया है cam वाला, and that is given is 200. So here we are going to apply effort P. Now for pin, length to diameter ratio is 1.2. So L is equal to 1.2 times D. And the lever cross section is given as is equal to 2.5 times B. So the relation is given, okay, for the dimension of lever and the diameter of fulcrum pin. Take the bending stress 70. So bending stress is given 70 megapascal. And the stress is, shear stress for the PD is 40. And the bearing pressure is given at 8 megapascal, right? It is given. Now let's design the cross section. The first is find effort. The first steps is always find effort P required. That is comes from the principle of moment. Okay, moment about the fulcrum. Moment about fulcrum. So P into effort arm, then the load into load arm. Okay, so P distance is 200. Load is given how much it is 4 kilonewton. I'm going to keep it in kilonewton. Multiplied distance 150. Okay, so from this we can find the value. You can calculate your way. This is going to be 3 kilonewton. This is going to be 3 kilonewton. So this much effort is we need to apply at the roller end to operate the given rocker arm. Now let's find the reaction force. The first is reaction force on fulcrum pin. So here we have to use R is equal to W square P square minus 2WP into cos theta. Okay, because the theta is given 140, it is not 90, so we have to replace this theta is equal to 140. So reaction for R, very simple, W is 4 kilonewton, effort is 3 kilonewton, 2 into 3 into 4 and cos 140, right? So let's find R. You can calculate using scientific calculator. So it's going to be 6.58 kilonewton. Okay. So this is what the final answer of reaction force RF acting on fulcrum pin. So this is the force acting on fulcrum pin. So by using this force, we have to find out the dimension of fulcrum pin. So let's find the point number 3. Design of fulcrum pin. Right, considering. So first case is considering bearing failure. Right. So that is R, D, capital length and the bearing pressure PB. Okay. So here, let's say R is how much we found out? 6.58. 6.58 10 raised to 3. We simply remove the kilo. Then dimension D, length is 1 point, it is relation is given 1.2 times. D into bearing pressure is given 8. So 8. So let's find the pin dimensions is 26.80 millimeter. So this is the dimensions, right? So we can take it 28. So from this, Let's say the pin diameter is 28 and the length comes out to be 34 millimeter. Okay, so this is the pin dimensions. Now again we know that fulcrum pin is also subjected to shear failure because of the same reaction force. So let's check. Checking fulcrum pin in double shear failure. Double shear failure, right? So same reaction force R is going to cause shear failure at two different locations, right? So here we are going to find the shear stress. So the reaction force R is given as 6.5 10⁸. We simply remove the kilo. Then 2 into pi by 4, we know the dimension of fulcrum pin is 28. Okay, so let's find out the shear stress. Here the shear stress induced comes out is 16.87 megapascal. Now what is the value given? 40. The value is given is less than the 40 permissible value, right? So we can say the dimension of fulcrum pin D is 34 and the length, which is diameter is 28 and length is 34, is safer in bearing pressure as well as in shear failure. So this is our answer. Now let's find the cross section. Number 4 is cross section of lever. Let's find it. Okay, so considering the rectangle section, that is H and the width B. Okay, now for that we have bending stress is equal to bending moment divided by section modulus G. So here G is going to be 1 by 6 BH square. Okay, now H is given in terms of 2.5 B. Relation is given to us. Okay, we can replace it. So let's find the bending moment. Here it is load into load arm. Let's say load is how much it is? 4 kilonewton. How much it is? 4,000 into its distance. What is distance? Distance is given as 150. It is 150. Okay, so this is load arm distance. So finally we have 600,000 Newton into millimeter. Okay, so all load is in terms of Newton and distance is in terms of millimeter. So finally 600,000 Newton millimeter bending moment. Okay, now the bending stress is given as is, I think as given is 70, right? It is given as 70. So we have to take 70 value. So here bending stress, bending moment divided by section modulus G, right? So 70 is the given permissible value and this is 600,000 divided by 1 by 6 into B into H square. So we are going to replace this. We are going to replace this H. So here it is 70, 600,000. You can just take it 6 upside, right? So to 6, it is B into we have 2.5 times B square, right? So this is 6. These are the B. Now it is very simple to find out the value of B. B comes out to be 20.18. Okay, so you can take it 22 millimeter. So the height, similarly, height will be 55 millimeter. How it comes? A 25% more. So height is simply come from this equation relation. You have to replace this 22 over here, so you can find the height. So the cross section is, let me draw over here. The cross section is this height, we have to keep it 55 millimeter, and the width is we have to keep it is as 22 millimeter. Okay, so we have designed a rocker arm. Let's say this is simply a rocker arm, a simple sketch to understand it, right? So here we have to keep rectangle section, right? So this is the location where the maximum bending moment is going to occur, hence the bending stress. Maximum bending moments means maximum stress. At that location we have to find out the cross section. Okay, that will reduce the induced bending stress. So we find out by numerically this is going to be 22, and the height going to be 55. So this is the minimum value you have to keep it. If you lower down, it is going to fail. If you increase it, it is simply a higher size, right? Or you can say it is not optimized design. So this way we can find the cross section of levers. Now finally, let's find the boss diameter. Okay, so let's find the boss diameter. So this is the boss diameter, and that is given as, very simply, capital D is equal to 2 times pin diameter. So here 2, and the fulcrum pin is 28. So it is going to be 56 millimeter, right? So this part is going to be 56. The inner part is going to be of 28, right? I hope it is clear to you. If you have any doubt, please raise your questions.